All right, so let's begin. I did kind of just want to do a simple thing for you guys, for you Ben and Skin, to just show my appreciation and my love for you guys first and foremost. But, you know, my wife is a nice camera lady, and she wanted to do something a little bit more special for you guys, I suppose. And there's no better thing to do than to drink and write stuff down. So, just like I said, I want to say thank you, first of all, and review your pretty awesome beer. So like I said, it's for my buddies Ben and Skin. They just opened a brewery in Salina, Texas. It's called Rollertown Beerworks. And overall, the first 4 beers that they brewed, I did want to say that the characteristics for all of them are pretty approachable, would be a good word to say. You know, easy to drink, something that's not too challenging and that's not, you know, a negative thing, because there's plenty of breweries out there that, you know, could take that title and be challenging to everybody and try to push the limits. And, you know, it's something I can appreciate, but it's not for everybody, even for, you know, someone who only pretty much drinks craft beer like myself. So I do enjoy that in between. The most important thing is just to make a good beer. So let's see, this is a big German. It's a Kolsch, 5.2% ABV, 25 IBUs. So not too bitter. It's got a nice bitterness that I do love. The aftertaste, it's really floral too. It's got some floral like hoppiness to it, what I love. It's very smooth. It's easy to drink. It's very little aftertaste, which is, you know, good for a Kolsch. It's clean and crisp. That's the most important thing for a Kolsch. It needs to be smooth, and it needs to be you know, got flavorful. I feel like I get that nice hoppy aroma and flavor on the front end, and then that slight bitterness on the back end, which is so good. I love it so much. The thing that I did write is that, you know, Kolsch's, and Skin has kind of mentioned this too, that Kolsch's, you know, the most difficult beer to make is probably the, you know, the lightest, easy drinking beers, because it's hard to get that distinct characteristic flavor to it, and you don't necessarily need that. I feel like without doing that characteristic flavor, because you don't have too much range in that Kolsch area. This is like super well balanced, and that's the most important thing for me with the German beer like that. It's just super balanced, you know, super easy to drink, and everything just, like I put that, it's perfectly balanced and aligned. And you know, the tall baller from the G would definitely be proud of this beer. I cannot say enough about how good it is and how awesome it is to have a good German beer. Prost, guys. Very good. All right, I'll move on to the light, the Rollertown Light. It's an American light lager, 4.2% ABV with 12 IBU. Let's go ahead and crack open my third Rollertown Light for the night. Can't say how much of the IPA I've had because it's been too much. Let's go. It's got a nice pour to it. It's very light, very crisp. Okay, let's try this. It's very light in color. I love that very light hoppy taste on the front. It's got like a little bit of maltiness and sweetness to it that I enjoy too. And it said on the label that you have a light lemon peel taste. I do kind of taste that a little bit, but you know, not so much. And I don't say this in a bad way, because I actually enjoy, you know, some Miller Lite. It's kind of what I feel like it's going for in that taste characteristic, but it's so hard to make that light lager taste with an actual, you know, flavor that's not just like water. And I feel that perfectly nailed it on this one. There's another brewery in town, I don't want to say who, but they try to make another American light lager like that, and while they did get the light part right, they just didn't get that taste characteristic that you need for a light lager that I feel like you perfectly nailed. And I mean, it's better than Miller Lite for sure. I would totally just drink this anytime I want to do some yard work or something around the house. It's very, you know, awesome, easy to drink. I love it so much. Beer pong, you know, cornhole, whatever. There's lots of activities I can see that can be done to this super crushable light lager, American light lager. Now I'm moving in to the third one. I'm gonna use this Bin and Skin Brew Crew 2018 glass that I got from you guys. I did see y'all at Hop Fusion, which was nice. Didn't get out to the other ones, Dirty Work or Noble Ray. Sadly, I believe Noble Ray is closed now. I did enjoy them a whole bunch. Let's go ahead and move on to the War Daddy. I did not want to open the second one of this one because I want to save this for, you know, friends I want to brag to and let them try. But it's kind of hard to say between this and the IPA, which is my favorite. This War Daddy is so good. The very first thing that I got in my first drink, it's a nice malty taste up front. A little bit the cacao nibs and the chocolate is just so good. The cold brew that you use is amazing. That cold brew is so good. I read that it was from some roastery, or I don't know who you got it from, but what I hate about some other stouts where they put cold brew in it, specifically like the Pete's coffee from 19th Amendment or whatever brewery, they just muted that coffee taste. You want that coffee taste in there, and I feel like you really got that roastiness of the coffee in there with the chocolate and the cacao. This is a vanilla and coffee imperial stout, 10% ABV, which that could be pretty dangerous because with how easy to drink, as I said, which is what you guys are going for, and 55 IBU, which is pretty, you know, that's pretty hoppy, and it's super easy to drink. I mean, for that 10%, like I can just crush these two almost. It's so good. I said that coffee is the best flavor I feel in it by far, and it says it's got vanilla in it. I kind of more taste that on the aftertaste. That coffee though, it just really hits so well. It's so perfect and blends very well with the cacao and the chocolate in there. So at 10%, this could get pretty dicey, leading to yet another one of Jerry's glory holes, which I know that the War Daddy was named by Jerry. That's what he calls a defensive end specialist, you know, pass rusher. So it's definitely an amazing beer. It's, like I said, it's going between that and the IPA, which I'm about to do next, as my favorite, and I cannot say enough about that War Daddy. It's so good. I almost hate to drink this without anybody and share it because it's so amazing. Sadly, we can't at this time, but oh my goodness, this is such a good beer. Thank you guys. And I'm gonna go to the last one now. It's gonna be the Juice Serum New England Juicy IPA. It's the one that I got in the crowler. I had to get that commemorative crowler because I'm a collector. So I've already drank about almost half this by myself because my wife does not drink IPAs. And I've got to say, I'm a super huge fan of it. IPAs are my favorite style of beer by far. I mean, it's the one that I gravitate to, you know, the most because bitter is a flavor profile that I love a lot. I never thought I would, but it's a flavor profile that I appreciate a lot. I do like New England IPAs, and juicy IPAs are really good. I don't like them when they're a little bit too sweet or too, you know, on the nose with the front sweet. But I think, again, I mean, just like everything else, you really nailed it on this because the note that I put is that, you know, bitterness is a note. It shouldn't be a guitar solo, and you really got it to where it's not too bitter. Which with New England IPAs, you know, that's not really what you're going for. But it's also not too sweet, and it's not too malty, which sometimes I can taste on New England IPAs I don't really like. It's very easy to drink. It's sweet. It's got a lot of floral and citrus notes that I love. I mean, that's what I love the most about New England IPAs. I hate when they kind of put too much of the sweet on the nose. This is really easy to drink. I do like that I had, my favorite is a West Coast IPA because I love that piney kind of citrusy taste. And this kind of has a slight piney taste, honestly. I don't know which hop it comes from. I know that you used Citra and some Eldorado and a Trident blend. Maybe it's a Trident, but I love that little slight bit of pininess, which is why I love West Coast IPAs. But the floral notes are so perfect on this. Nice amount of citrus. And like I said, not too much bitterness. I love it. I just completely love it. Very easy to drink. And as I said, that's with all your beers, which again, that's something that can be commended, because I do feel like some breweries will try to challenge you too much and, you know, like I said, make it about you coming to them versus the other way around. I want to say that I do like a brewery's approach to doing that, and I think that's exactly what you went for. And like I said, I think you nailed it, honestly, on every single one of those. Like, I can't say enough about them. They're so good, and can't wait to enjoy a beer with you guys, you know, soon. So cheers, and thank you again.